building a 14-point lead there in the first quarter. What you see in the second that allowed Washington to get back into the game and take control?
Yeah, I think when you look at just the flow, they get off to a good start. And, just understand we got to be better in that second. It's kind of like what happened against San Antonio, but this was pretty much for the whole quarter instead of the end of the quarter. So that group has to be better. Turnovers, but our defense isn't up to par. We got to be better. Understand there's always someone going in this league, young or a vet, and tonight George had a heck of a game.
How'd you see Cooper kind of adapt to their defensive pressure throughout the game? I know he had 2 turnovers, but it just seemed like he got it going there before.
Yeah, I think he's used to the pressure in the sense of being picked up. He was picked up day one in summer league, and he's going to be picked up. And we're going to have him handling the ball. So for him, I think he's getting better each time he's in there. He makes big plays down the stretch. But we have to be better transition defense and also taking care of the ball. We got 18 turnovers between 3 guys. That's not going to beat anybody in this league, and that's what happened tonight.
This is obviously a rough start, losing by 33 the other night, by 10 tonight to a team that had one of the worst records in the league last year. What's your concern level at this point?
It's still early. This is game 2. There's a lot that we have to work on. But I think to positive, I thought the group that was out there got us back in the game. The energy was high. They were playing the game the right way. It wasn't just one person trying to do it all. And so the defense was the reason why we got back in the game, and then we started to make plays. I thought Hardy coming off the bench gave us a spark. We're going to look to play him. But right now, it's as a whole, as a team, we're not shooting the ball straight. If you're not shooting the ball straight and you have 21 turnovers, no matter what the record of that team you're playing previous, you can be beat, and that's what happened tonight.
What do you feel like you just need to see from D'Angelo to get in there more?
I think just rhythm. I mean, understanding, he had some good looks that just didn't go down. And I want to, we got B. Will and Ryan that we're trying to figure out which one that we can play early here in the season. Again, if you're going to play Ryan or suit him up, you got to play him because that's a game that's going to go against you. So understanding just the depth of the team right now at that position, we're shorthanded, and so we're asking him to do a lot, and he's responding in a positive way. For D'Lo, he had good looks that just didn't go down, but again, everyone's going to get another crack at it on Sunday, but we got to come back, and I think we got to do better in that second quarter. Second quarter has hurt us here, obviously. All 3 quarters hurt us the other game, but tonight it was the second quarter. We got to be better defensively, and then offensively we got to be able to make shots. We had great looks tonight in the paint, at the free throw line, and behind the 3-point line, and we just didn't make it.
I think D'Lo was on the bike there for a bit. Is he okay?
Yeah, I think so. From what I understand, yeah.
So with all the turnovers, why not play him in that second half?
I think when the group that got us back in the game was the group we were going to go with, and so he wasn't part of that.
Coach, before the game, we talked a little bit about the character of the offense from that first game. You said that you felt like the offense wasn't in character and you hoped they would be in character tonight. Do you think that they took a step in the right direction towards being in character, or how would you evaluate?
Yeah, I think it was a lot better. When you're creating shots, you got to make some of them. Right now, we're not making them. 35 points in the first quarter, you would say that the offense is going in the right direction. And so when you have a 17-point quarter, it's hard because everyone wants to do the right thing. You're going to miss some shots, you're going to make some shots, but the defensive end, we have to be better. And right now, we're not up to par on that end. And a lot of times, our defense is our offense, and so we have to be better.
How hard is PJ making it to leave him on the bench the way he's playing?
I can't play him 48 minutes. He played 40 tonight. And so he'll die before Christmas. If we're going to have to rely on him to play 40
Would you like
minutes.
to?
There's some things that I can't do, and that's just, we can't play him 48 minutes. It's not fair to him. We're a deep team. Someone's got to pick up the baton. Would I like to play him more minutes? Yeah, I mean, he's doing everything for us, from guarding to making plays to shooting a three. I mean, he's playing at an extremely high level for us. But 40 minutes, that's a lot here in Game 2. And every night he's taking on the best scorer. So.
Jason, you said the defense is not playing up to par. What specifically on the defense or breakdowns are you seeing that needs to level up?
Yeah, well, one is we can't keep fouling shooters. We're fouling three-point shooters. We did it again tonight, I think twice, 3 times. And so that's something that we got to look at and be better. Contesting shots is one thing, but fouling a three-point shooter is another. And right now that's been a bad habit of ours. And then being able to just guard the ball. You got to be able to keep the ball in front of us. And right now we're not doing that.
Your fan base went through the ringer last year, obviously. You hear that frustration, the last minute of the game, the chant fire Nico. What do you think about the frustration that the fan base is venting?
Yeah, I think they have a right to vent. But there's a patient. This is a different team. This is a new team. We're just getting to understand each other. We're going to keep learning each other. And so I would say be patient. But I understand the frustration. We all want to win. We all want to compete at a high level. But this is a game of expression, and the fans have a right to express themselves. So, but that doesn't stop us from coming to work tomorrow and getting better and getting ready for Sunday.
Thank you, guys. Thanks.
I think I found a little bit more of a rhythm. I thought as a team, offensively, we were a little better, just keeping it moving. But I think it just came down to a lot of turnovers, silly turnovers that we shouldn't have thrown. Got to take care of the ball, and that just led to a lot of transitions, and then guys get hot.
I know you still haven't seen the film or anything, but on those turnovers, is it something where you guys are just trying to play with pace and it gets out of control, or what do you think is the primary reason?
Yeah, I mean, we want to play with pace. That's a big thing for us. We want to play in transition, but I think sometimes when we push the ball and they stop us a little bit, we got to be able to slow it down and get into our actions and get into what we want to run. So I think it's just settling down once we do push the ball and then get set up and get organized.
There was a moment in that fourth quarter you hit a three, you had the dunk where it seemed like your confidence really soared. Did you feel that at that moment, that you had found something?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of energy in the building. The fans showed up. They were amazing tonight. I thought we were competing at a high level in that fourth quarter, doing a lot of things right, getting stops, playing the way that we want to play. And that kind of sums it up. It was just for periods tonight, and we got to be able to sustain that for the whole game. But I think we took somewhat of a step in the right direction, but it has to be a lot better.
What's the mood like after 2 losses, 2 very disappointing losses to start the season?
I think it was great. I can speak for myself. I know I'm kicking myself, and I'm obviously not happy. I'm a little upset. I mean, it's just a competitor. I love to win, and I want to win as many games as possible, so it's not a great start. But we got a lot of film to look at, a lot of stuff to look at, and a lot to improve.
What was Coach Kidd's message to you guys in the locker room after the game?
Yeah, I think it's just about the competition and sustaining that for the whole game. I think, like I said earlier, we went in spurts where we competed really hard and took care of the ball and got to what we wanted to get to. And we went through spurts where we turned the ball over and we weren't competing at as high or low as we should have been. So I think that was a big thing.
Cooper, you're just trying to get used to the NBA right now. When you hear fan frustration like that at the end of the game, certain chants going on, what goes through your head?
To be honest, I don't even know what chants you're talking about.
Fire Nico chants.
I'm just locked in on the game. So like I said, I didn't even hear those. I'm listening to coach, listening to the guys on the team, the vets. Just trying to figure out as many ways as I can to help the team and impact the game in a positive way. So I'll try and tune all that stuff out. Yeah.
Cooper, you kind of got your first taste of physicality in the NBA. What do you feel like you learned this year? What were your thoughts on that play and how do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously he was just trying to stop the transition. I don't think it was any ill intent or anything like that from him. But it is what it is. Got to deal with physicality. Just got to keep playing.
Feel fine?
Yeah, I'm okay.
How are you feeling in terms of finding your level of aggression, when to be aggressive, like we saw you in the fourth quarter, kind of thing going for a little bit versus forcing it?
Yeah, I think just figuring it out. Wouldn't say I figured it out completely, but it's just something that as we kind of figure out our offense and our guys and who we have and kind of roles get formed a little bit more, I think that will continue to work itself out. We just got to keep being aggressive and assertive. But I think they're putting a lot of stuff on me of being a playmaker as well. So I got to be able to help get guys involved and make plays for others a little bit better.
Before the game, Coach Kidd talked about, he said, when we asked him about the offense from last game, he said that y'all were a little bit out of character compared to the way that y'all want to play. Tonight, when you're looking at the game, it was just a couple minutes ago, but do you feel like y'all's offense was more in character, and what needs to happen moving forward for y'all to get even more in character of how y'all want to play?
Yeah, I think, kind of like I said earlier, we took a step in the right direction. Offensively, I think that was big for us, but I think there's still a lot of room for us to grow and get better on that end. Just making it easier. I think there's a lot of different ways, and we'll watch the film and we'll figure it out, but I think there's a lot of ways that we can make it easier on each other and help each other out a lot more on that end of the floor for sure.
What are some of those ways that you're referring to?
I think just, like I said, making it easier. Guys are getting pressured 94. We don't have to, force that every single time and make them get tired bringing it up. But I think just using each other, setting screens in the backcourt, attacking mismatches, things like that we'll kind of figure out as we go along, and different actions and sets that we like to get into. I think we'll figure it out as we go.
I know it's early in the season, but AD said one of his main jobs with you is to help you not feel the pressure of the number one draft pick and aspirations that you have in your first year. Do you feel like the team's kind of rallying around you to kind of relieve that pressure?
No, I think the pressure they're putting on me is just to be myself, just to be who I know I can be and the person I've been my whole life, and up to this point, last year and even so far this year through training camp and preseason and whatnot. So just, I don't feel any pressure from them. They all just want me to be great and be who I am, and vice versa. I just want them to make the plays I know they can make, and we're just trying to have that trust.
Defensively, what are some improvement areas that you can see for this team after 2 games?
Yeah, I think just we got to deal with hot players a little bit better. Obviously, I think Wemby got hot the other night. No matter what, he's obviously maybe a different case, but and tonight with George, just some when guys get hot like that, you got to be able to kind of turn the water off and adjust on the fly. So I think we got to just get better at adjusting and those sort of things.
You did face some court pressure for a while. Does it get easier throughout the course of the game to kind of handle some of that pressure?
I don't know if easier is the right word. You can figure it out. Just deal with it. But I think it goes back to what I said earlier, just making it easier on each other. We started just setting those screens in the backcourt, creating advantages early and just playing in a lot of open space. So that's something that's going to be big for us moving forward for sure.
2 games, just got to be better defensively. I think we're going to play the big lineup. We got to do a better job defensively. Doing a lot of switching, and their guards are doing a lot of actions that I won't say confusing us, but we just got to do a better job at our switching, our low man. When we get stops, we're able to get on trends and run. But defensively, our first unit, we came out the game, really well defensively. But overall, they hit 15 threes tonight. We got to do a better job on the defensive end. I think that's where our biggest problem is.
So when comparing tonight's performance to the performance from Wednesday night, do you feel like the offense's character was more in the way that how y'all want to play?
Yeah, I think we play for each other. A lot of tonight we're making the right plays, making the right passes. We missed, some easy ones, layups, open threes, stuff like that. But as far as how we want to play offensively, I think we did a good job of that tonight.
What did you see as far as just the turnovers tonight?
Yeah, 20 turnovers. It's tough to win a game. It's already tough to win basketball games in this league in general. When you add 20 turnovers to that, it's even tougher. A lot of them unforced. We're going in there. We're trying to make the right play, but when you got smaller teams, especially us being bigger, they're going to try to do a lot of swiping and try to get steals and deflections and stuff, and they did that tonight as well. So We just got to be smarter with the ball. And if, myself, PJ, and Coop is going to be, our primary ball handlers, we got to do a better job of protecting the ball as well, knowing that people just going to try to pick us up full court. Whether we're getting off of it and then coming to get it at half. But we got to do a better job at that, us three, because that's what teams are going to do. And now we're starting our offense, instead of, 20 on the clock, more like 14, 15. So, we got to do a better job of that.
Cooper had a moment there in the first quarter where he seemed to really get in a rhythm, the dunk, the three, where he took over. How hard is it for a rookie to know when it's your time to be more aggressive, to take over, and when not to?
Excuse me. He played well. We're trying to give him the ball in his spots. Obviously, he had some mismatches tonight, and we give it back to him, and he do what he do. It's always tough, but when he got it going, we've been talking to him about when to go and not to go and when to make the right play, time score situation. But he's getting the hang of it, and like you say, he had that moment, where he kind of did his thing. So, we all still got to understand he's a rookie. He's going to take time, but he's starting to figure out, his spots where he's going to get his shots and the moments where he take over games.
It's only his second game, but where is your comfort level right now in this offense?
Personally or as a group? Personally, very comfortable. It's a lot that we can, clean up, and we will clean up, but I think it's just different for all of us, It requires a lot of ball and body movement. And I think, like, from Wednesday to today, it was a difference of how we play on the offensive end. We got, like I said, we got open shots. We got, some back cuts, some curl actions where we got open layups and stuff like that. We just missed bunnies. But for the most part, I think my comfort level personally is I'm very comfortable in this offense. And, as the season go on and we continue to, practice and drill it and get live reps of it, I'm pretty sure all of us are only going to get more comfortable.
As far as the turnovers, do you feel that it's miscommunication, missed assignments?
No, I think we're trying to do the right thing, man. I had the ball, trying to throw it to Coop on the outlet. He's not used to playing point, so he was taking off, and then he had to come back, and the one PJ threw to me. I thought PJ had it, and I was just trying to get to a spot, but he was trying to kick it ahead. So, it's miscommunication, but it's all, like, correctable. Like I said, it's a little different for, us three, but, we'll get better. We'll look at the film and, I'll watch it tonight and just kind of figure out how I can be better and how our team can be better.
It's extremely early, but how would you assess the way Cooper's dealt with his first taste of adversity in the NBA?
This is adversity?
Yeah.
What's adversity?
For Cooper, just the 0-2 start to his career and everything, how would you say he's handling everything?
Great. We got 80 games left.
Yeah.
We run off 10 straight, and then what? That's how I look at it. I'm sure that's how, he look at it. That's what we talked about, we know we have to be better on both ends of the floor, but the NBA season is a roller coaster, so, we're staying positive, and we know we've had 2 games, actually 3, Charlotte as well. Since we've been in this building this season, we haven't played our best basketball. So we got 3 more at home. We're going to take it one game at a time. We got Toronto next, all right? So, they playing well, good basketball, but that's a must-win for us, definite basketball, and we take it from there.
What are some areas defensively that this team can, maybe fine-tune going into Sunday's game?
Like I said, I think we playing that big lineup, our switching, our communication, our talking. I have to look at their lineup and see what they do and what their Toronto schemes are. But, tonight they were doing a lot of, like, guard pick and rolls. And, I think, PJ's on the ball, I'm on the ball, and Live is, guarding the screener. There's some miscommunication there, whether we should switch it or, fight over. And I think, they got some threes off of that. We're all used to, being the bigger guys, being in the screener situation. So, miscommunication, but like I said, everything is correctable and internal. So, we're beating ourselves, and as long as we're doing that, we can correct it. but we also have to learn from it and be ready for Sunday.
To follow up on just the fixable things, a lot of that can be fixed with more time on the floor together and kind of getting in a flow and a gel. In your experience in the league, how many games do you guys feel it takes to kind of really get in that good flow?
It just takes a win, to be honest. I think our trust level tonight was, better than our trust level on Wednesday. I think our effort and energy was better. We kind of let our foot off the brake. They made some shots, but we allowed them to make shots. Instead of us kind of forcing them to miss shots. So, I feel like I can't remember his name. The guy who killed us tonight. George. Yeah, George. He got very comfortable. That's kind of been a thing for us, letting a guy come in and just get comfortable. But we have to play with a defensive aggression that we're going to take guys out of games. Not just one guy, but, everybody. So that's the mindset. I'm sure we'll talk about it tomorrow, watch the tape, and then, our mindset is defense. Like, we gotta be a defensive-minded team for all 48 minutes. We can't have it for 24, and then, not for the other 24. So it's good for us, though. It's good for us, and me personally, I'd rather it happen now than later, and kind of correct it. So it's good for our group. We've been challenged. I mean, that's what teams gonna do. They see bigger guys on the floor. They're gonna try to run us and just do a lot of screen action and hoping that we mess up. So we gotta know what teams are gonna do and just be ready for it.
Talk about the other younger guys, whether it's Ryan or B. Will, how they've been performing the last 2 games.
Good. I mean, Ryan's come in, did a great job of distributing the ball, making shots. And B. Will, obviously with his pace come in and can change the game. So. Them guys have been staying ready, and whenever their number get called, come in and try to make a play for us.
There have been a couple times that you've talked about just y'all utilizing that big lineup. I mean, even though basketball's kind of switching to more positionless, would you say there are any challenges that y'all are having to deal with not having a true point guard per se on the offense?
No, I mean, like I said, the only thing that I see, teams are, picking us up full court. Which is, I guess, different for us, and that's kind of really the only thing. So we starting our offense a little later in the clock, but I mean that's really it, as far as I see.